Hello Reddit gamers. It is time for Reddit gaming. And by that I mean, hello. Hope we're all doing well. Hope we're all gaming. I would like to start this off by saying Happy New Year, even though it's not even the New Year yet. And also, that this won't necessarily be everything that I played, because some of that shit was on an Xbox that I no longer own. And when I went on the old Xbox website, do you know what that says? When you go to look at games you played, they're like, here's what you've done in the last 90 days. Turns out I've not done anything in the last 90 days. So, gamers. The SP quad, I'm still in 2025. Are you in 2026? Is it better? Or should I stay here? Please tell me soon. Please tell me soon. I need to know soon. I need to know now. Hello, gamers. I played some games in 2025. We can talk about it. And you're going to hear the Silent Hill 2 remake soundtrack in the background until I decide to put something else on. But for now, it's going to be that, because that soundtrack is a vibe. This is a list of stuff that I could remember that I'd played. I've color-coded it. Green is something that I've beaten, probably. Yellow is something that I don't think has an end, so I can't really put it as something that's, you know, I've beaten. Blue is something that I'm actively playing. And then orange is something that I'm not playing currently, but it is ongoing. It's something I want to go back to, or something I want to continue. And then red are games that I'm not continuing. So the red games, I don't believe we're going to talk about any of them, so I'll talk about them now. Delta Force, Extraction Shooter 3, had a Metal Gear collab. Metal Gear collab was announced way too early. My ass was not going to go back to it to play it. We've then got Final Fantasy 13. I had like a week stint where I binged that game. It was sick as hell, and I loved it. Hello, Straight-Faced. It was cool as hell. I love Final Fantasy 13, but hopefully I'll be able to talk about it in more depth on another day. Rematch, the what do you call it? The not Rocket League game, because there's no cars, it's just feet. No one ever. I really liked it, but no one really wanted to play it, and so I didn't continue it. Maybe I should have, but that was an Xbox game, so who cares? Turnip Boy Robs a Bank we'll get to. So there's a chunk of these, and we're basically hitting them with Rematch already, where I'm not continuing them because I only played them on the Xbox via Games Pass, and I don't have enough desire to purchase them. So Revenge of the Savage Planet, that was a fun one. Played a couple times on the Xbox, on Games Pass. Not playing it anymore. Tony Hawk 1, 2, 3 remake. I actually own Tony Hawk 1 and 2 remake. I might own the 3 and 4 one, but I don't think I do. But the 3 and 4 one, I'm pretty sure it was on the old Xbox. So can't continue that, but that was neat. The remakes are all cool. Really hoping for an Underground remake at some point. That's what I really want to see. Registered Planet you inflicted on me. Yeah, you did. It was good fun. I remember having a good time with it. Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered. I could not tell you anything about my experience with the remaster in particular. Genuinely cannot remember it. It's a video game. And Turnip Boy Robs a Bank. So I did play Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. I don't remember if that was this year or not. Did play that. Liked that a lot. Turnip Boy Robs a Bank, also very neat. However, on the Xbox. It's an Xbox game, so who cares will be your motto for 2026? Unfortunately, it's on the Games Pass. Like, I could play it another way if I acquired it, but it's sort of that awkward position where I played it via Games Pass. Am I going to go back? Maybe not. Some of the stuff in here we're not going to talk about. Killing Floor 2. I started up recently because it was on PS Plus. Enjoying it. It's more Killing Floor. Kind of want to see if I can get some people to play it. Burly Men at Sea. That's a fun little artsy game. Helldivers 2 I won't talk about. It's Helldivers, you know what it is. Minishoot won't be, discussed. I should go back to it though. That is something that I want to put on the return to list. There's some bits and pieces in here, but the key ones that we're going to talk about, the gamers, the games that gamers played for 2025 are going to be on this list. So this is what we're looking at here. Not everything here is completed. Maybe I should have color-coded this shit, who cares? Some of this stuff was played on stream, some of it wasn't, so some of this might be familiar, like Delta or Baldur's Gate 3. Some of this might look a little odd, like, oh, Astrobot. When did the old vague guy play Astrobot? Well, guess what, fucko? I do things off camera. I barely do things on camera. I don't do a lot off camera either, but you know, we find a point. We find a vibe. And the Silent Hills are over there too. So, first things first. After I said first things first earlier, second things second. Hope you're all having a nice time. If you've got any song requests, message me them and then I'll forget to do them. And let's go. So, Astrobot. Astrobot may be like top 5 game I played this year because it's sick as hell. Is great. Played it with some friends. Came around. We were taking it in turns on the various levels, and it's just like good fun. That's just a good video game for funny video gamers. If you grew up, I'd say if you grew up with PlayStation stuff, but honestly, there's enough variety there that you'll probably find some things to enjoy from the other franchises. But as a like platformer, as a current gen gaming platformer, is fucking sick as hell, man. If you have a PS5 and you've not played Astrobot, you really should. If you have a PS5 and you've not played Astro's Playroom, which came free with your fucking console, you should play that. Uno came free. Yeah, it's only quite stuff, but there's a lot of like, you know, third-party stuff in there too. I'm thinking about the ones that were added in the free updates, and there are, you know, some free harder level updates, which are good fun. It's a very solid platformer. Gives me big... Guy who's played Mario Galaxy, gives me big Mario Galaxy vibes. But it's a genuine great time. I think it's a good one to play with some friends as well. You know, we were swapping the controller over, you know, on different difficulty bits. It's just good fun. There's a gauntlet level, as a lot of these games like to do, which was a lot of fun swapping between. But Astrobot's maybe a top 5. I should have done a ranking of what I played this year, but that Astrobot's maybe a top 5. If I remember that, that's probably up there. Numero dos is Baldur's Gate 3 with Prof and a little bit of Divinity Original Sin 2. And I do believe in normalising fighting with your friends like you're married. Baldur's Gate 3 was a fun time. Would I have enjoyed it on my own? I don't know. Hello, Prof. We're going to talk about you now. Prof, there's a lot of you in here. Get ready. There's a lot of you. But yeah, Baldur's Gate 3, I'm not sure if that's a game that I would have engaged with enough on my own. It's very good. But it's not... I don't think I'm at like a point in my life where I'm like, Baldur's Gate is a game I'd lock onto. Again, there's going to be this idea that I'll come back to of the... like, gamer out of time, right? If I'd played this when I was younger, or I'd played this like early at uni and I'd had a load of free time, I would have locked into it and I'd have probably had a great time. But now I looked at it and was sort of like, man, that's a lot. I got a lot already. I got too many big games that I'm trying to play. But playing it with Prof was a great time. I think this is another one of those. It's a good time to play with some pals, or with at least a pal. What I would say is that if you do play with a pal, you want a guy like Prof. Currently I'm playing Silent Hill music, but we might switch to AC4 music in a minute, or AC5. You want to play with a pal like Prof, because what Prof did, and I will appreciate the heck out of him for it, was that he'd already played the game a fair amount, knew what he was going to do, knew what he liked, but was like, right, you drive, watch this drive, let me drive, and then, you know, jumped in where he wanted to do his bits, and that was good fun. I think with a game like this, when you play a very story-focused game, with somebody who's played it before, you can run into this awkwardness of like, the person that you're playing with knows what they want to do and likes to do what they want to do, and you as the new person wants to discover and wants to find things out, but the other player is like, right, I know what's good, so we should do the thing that's good. And you're like, but I want to find out what's good. You found out what's good for a trial and turbulations of trying all these different things, and I don't want to just skip to the good bit, I want to have the journey. And Prof allowed for the journey. It was good times. Hades music and Ace Combat music are both a good time. Now watch this drive. But yeah, Prof did a very good job of that. Had a good time, had fun, pushed Shadowheart off a cliff into a infinite dimension. Divinity Original Sin 2, though, is a game. It's a video game that I just could not click with. Don't know why, but I just didn't click with it. Every time we played it, I was like, man, not click with it. It would be lame if you just told me what to do. But there's also like this idea, right? Like, oh man, yeah, you can do, but let's go do. You know, I want to do this thing. Let's do this. You did a very good job of being like, you know, watch this drive. Divinity Original Sin is a game like the first one and the second one. I think the problem is with the first one, I kept trying to get into it, bounced off, and now it just looks like a slog to get back to, and that's not a fault of the game, that's a fault of me. Divinity Original Sin 2, I think, is just, it's got some carryover from that. Again, not a fault of Divinity Original Sin 2, I'm the problem, as we will find out more and more as we go through this. But, anyway, we'll talk about Prof more in a minute, because we love Germans. Bomrush Cyberfunk. Who says it like that? That's a good time. That's fun, man. Highly recommend Bomrush Cyberfunk. I need, again, another game that I'd love to go back to. Weirdly, a game that I'd love to have on a PlayStation Vita. But if you played some Jet Set Radio, or if you ever looked at the Jet Set Radio aesthetic and you thought, man, that looks kind of neat. It's a fucking sick-ass game. It's just good. It's a video game. And I think we've talked about this before, this like concept of a video game, but Bomb Rush fits it. It's very focused on what it is that it's going to get you to do. It's very, right, this is the game. We focused all of our efforts on making the game fucking sick as hell, and you jump in and you're like, yeah, do you know what? It is sick as hell. I chucked in some gacha pulls and it's a 10 out of 10. Good other thing many Twitch reviews do is try to guide people having the same experience themselves. People don't have Twitch having co-op fun even hate. I know, yeah, you did hate my choices, but I like that you were like, yeah, we'll hate your choices. That's cool. That's fun. In a game with so much choice, you want to be able to make them. But yeah, Bomb Rush Cyberfunk is a recommend. It's one of those ones where I'd like to go back to. It's not high on a priority list, but I know if I did go back to it, I'd be like, this is sick as hell. Same composer as JSR too. The fireworks are too loud. Mine or yours? We've got some fireworks kicking off and I'm not fond of them. But yeah, great soundtrack. Very fun game. Very cool style. Straight Face as well has told me about there's a multiplayer mod. There's a multiplayer scene for Bomb Rush that's really neat. And we'll talk a little bit about sort of fan-made multiplayer mods a bit later. But it's an interesting development. I know it's been around for a while, but it's an interesting sort of development of taking like this piece of media, this like piece of art, and reimagining it as an experience for like multiple people. It's cool. All City Network. There we go. It's very neat. I like it. I'm waiting for someone to make Metal Gear Solid 2 co-op, and so I could slap the randomizer in and have a goofy time with that. That'll never happen, but I can believe. But yeah, Bomb Rush, highly recommend. Highly recommend. What's next? Oh, it's Borderlands 1 and 2. 1 with Prof, 2 with Prof and Proto. I'm not really going to talk much about Borderlands. Borderlands has been Borderlands has been around for a while. And it's fine. But it is a hand-occupying activity. That's where when I was making this slide, I was like, what's the subtitle? Immediately knew what it was. It's a fidget spinner video game. The game itself is an excuse to hang out with some pals and bump some numbers up. What do you mean atoms on every slide? But it's a hand-occupying activity. You do it because it occupies your fingers, and then you can like have conversations, or you can do other stuff, or you can fiddle about with your legs. I don't know. It's a fidget spinner video game. And it's fun. It's neat. But I wouldn't say Borderlands is a game series that is like transformative to me as a person. It's solid. It's just neat. It's a game that you play with some pals. I don't see myself playing a Borderlands game alone again. Mostly because I just don't think they're really... I don't think they're really like good for it. They're not really good solo games. I'm playing the Ace Combat soundtrack now because that's getting too sad. But I'm not listening to the first song. But it's just a hand-occupying activity. I have no real strong feelings towards it. I can't say that, oh yeah, Borderlands is my, oh boy, that's my video game of all time. That's my experience of all time. It's just kind of a, yeah, number gets bigger. My pals get bigger. Stuff gets bigger, and I sort of wonder if I've, wasted my time. But when I played it with friends, there's no waste of time, because when you do things with your pals, when you have quality time with them, that's a good time. Also, it's funny seeing how different we all play, because I'm very much I want to knock the things off the list. I want to get that hit of you've ticked the box, and That's not how everyone wants to play. But yeah, Borderlands is not going to be in my top 5 of the year. It is a perfectly cromulent video game, and that's about as positive as I can say to it. I saw that... oh, no, okay, AC Infinity had the Blue Sky song. Yeah, because AC Infinity was the free-to-play MMO one, right? Well, not MMO, but you know the vibes. But yeah, it's good fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm having a time. But I'm having a time because I'm playing with good people. And that's kind of that's the vibe. Right, where are we? Who's next? Cyberpunk! Oh, Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk. Man. I am the problem with this game as well. I'm the issue. And that's okay. I find Cyberpunk to be... I don't know what it is. It's... something about it doesn't speak to me. Something about the way it feels doesn't speak to me. Game feel is a really hard thing to get across. But I think back to my time with it, and it's definitely not something I would have continued if I wasn't streaming it. But the actual game feel of it was just peculiar to me. I didn't like how it felt when I played it. And the stories were really engaging and everything like that, but I just wasn't feeling it. And the thing is, I think that's an outlier, right? Because Cyberpunk, despite the rough launch, Cyberpunk went on to have, an incredible run. It's great. A lot of people love it. Highly acclaimed. A lot of great bits and pieces in there, but for me, it's one of those things I bounced off. I've said before, my favourite part of the Cyberpunk playthrough was after we did Phantom Liberty and we got the sort of ending of the DLC, but not the ending, and I just walked through Night City for a bit chatting. That was my favourite part. Because it just felt like I could decompress. Sort of all my feelings and thoughts of this. But that's the thing, right? With a game like this, and with a lot of games, you have to sort of look at the person who's talking about it, what they like, what they're into, what they vibed with, to determine if their opinion on it is really something that you would hold in sort of valid regard. It's the thing with a lot of reviews I think people miss. With online reviews where you'd see a guy, he's reviewed the video game that I like, reviewer gave it 7 out of 10, reviewer stupid, reviewer dummy. And then if you look at the backlog of this reviewer's stuff, you're like, oh, okay, you can see a consistent thread of what they like and don't like. And you understand why they got to those thoughts and ideas. And to be honest, if you do that, if you look through it, not just as one score, but as a person who's complex and has their own thoughts and ideas about things, and have had these thoughts and ideas about different things, you get a bit of a through line that might help you understand your own opinion better. That's all I can really hope with Cyberpunk, is that when I did play it, and when I did explain how I felt, that was at least enough to understand where I was coming from, and also maybe help someone else understand where they're coming from. There's games I really like, and someone would come back to me and be like, oh, I don't like that at all, and this is why. And I'd be like, oh, I understand that now. I get why you feel this way, and this is why I feel my way, and we can find a bit of middle ground there. But also, I'm bad at games, so, Stinky Cyberpunk, worst game of 2025? Cyberpunk might be a top 5 game for this year, just because it was interesting, at least. It intrigued me. Anyway, Final Fantasy 5! This game has jobs. You seen the fucking job market recently? It's not good. You seen the job market in FF5? There's a million jobs. Make it make sense, man. Keir Starmer, I'll get on the phone. I'll give you a call. As Prof said, apparently me and you are BFF, so I'll ring you up. I'll be like, look, mate, I'm not having this. I'm not having this. FF5 is great. Final Fantasy 5 is very solid classic Final Fantasy. It's probably, of the Pixel Remaster games, if you told me to pick one to recommend, I think it might be Final Fantasy V. For some, I guess it's a toss between 5 and 6. 5 if you're a mechanics-driven gamer, 6 if you're a more plot-driven gamer. I'll say the 5 doesn't have a good plot, but 6 probably is stronger in that regard. But the 4-job Fiesta rule set, the way the jobs all work, it just feels good to play. It's a fun time. I'm impressed by the level of thought that went into it, because obviously Final Fantasy 3 had jobs, and the jobs in 3 were also neat, but 5 takes it a step further. makes them more intriguing, makes them cooler. Amano slaps, man. Amano's a heck of an artist. But yeah, 5 of the Pixel Remaster games, and we'll get into them a little bit, but of them, 5 is up there. And actually, in terms of Final Fantasy games, if you made me do a ranking of Final Fantasy games, 5's up there for me in, like, of all of them. It's just really cool. 2027 will be your year. Good luck, Pequod. Good luck with this year, then. But yeah, 5 big fan. I'm taking a swig of my Leffe. My blonde Leffe. I'm trying to think, with 5, I don't really have any notes for it as well. I just think it's good. I just think it's a good time. And that you should play it. And also, if you don't have a job, live a power fantasy, baby. Get 12. 6, and I'm not going to talk about FF7 spoilers. We're not going to bring up FF7 spoilers here. But 6 is very funny that it's FF7 -1. Hope this coffee made his decaf. I was pouring into 2026. I tell the story. My dad at Christmas made me. I was like, I could have a decaf coffee. And he was like, yeah, and he made me like 4 of them over the course of the evening. Come the next morning, he goes, oh, by the way, I fucked up. I was giving you regular coffee because I just muscle memory was doing it. I was like, all right, thanks, man. 6 is oh man, 6 is an experience. It is. Having played it and finished it, I understand why 6 is brought in as one of the like best Final Fantasy games of all time. Like it's 6, 7, or 9, and you get why 6 is there. It is the pinnacle of the older style. Really fleshed out characters, cool plot threads. A lot of the blueprints for Final Fantasy VII are in 6, which makes it, I think, worth it to play. If you like Final Fantasy VII, it's worth playing Final Fantasy VI to see some of the through lines on it. Mechanically, I like it a little less than FF5, though. It is harder than it looks. Mechanically, I like it a little less than Final Fantasy V, just because I liked 5's customization, how much you could do in 5. 6, you're a bit restricted, and by the time you get the ability to give everyone magic, I just kind of sit there and I feel like I'd have rather not had that and had something else, or just focused on the character's individual movesets more, because I think the Esper system doesn't work as well for me. Important question. I'm scared. Operation Daughter, AC5 Briefing 1 Son, AC5 Briefing 1 Son. I'm sorry, I love AC5 Briefing, it's so good. But yeah, 6 was a good time. The Opera House scene, fantastic. The Pixel Remaster, adding a full, a full vocal track to that was great. In fact, speaking of AC5 Briefing 1, we're going to play that now. You've talked me into it, Prof. Oh, here it comes. Oh, that's the good stuff. Yeah. The final boss for 6 was also very funny. I think 6 has so far had, of the Pixel remasters, had my favourite final boss. Not because of the quality of the boss, though I do think it's very cool. Basically, because I had a guy roll 3 dice over and over and over again until the boss died, and that was fun. Gambling wins. Kids? Children under the age of 18? Gamble? No. Don't gamble. But it is kind of sick. It is cool. And it did win me the game, so, you know. It might bankrupt you, it might leave you destitute and homeless, but it could also save the world. Gambling. The vaguely someone story. No, right. But we'll move on from 6. 6, great time. Love the characters. Love the visuals. Love the ideas. It's just neat. But on a more sort of general sense, I did want to talk about just the Pixel, because we finished the Pixel Remaster. This year, I finished the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster video game. Because it is a video game. And I've softened on Final Fantasy a lot over the years. I used to be very hardline. I like Crisis Core, but every time I play Final Fantasy, it's boring as shit. And I'm curious when I play 7 how I'm going to feel, because 7 is when the series slows down tremendously. 7's battles are a lot slower than any of the previous games. The zoom in, the slower ATB, I'm curious how I'm going to feel. But 1 to 6 has really made me like, I'm like outright, yeah, I'd say I'm a big Final Fantasy fan. Whereas before I'd be like, well, I like some parts of it, but not a lot of it. Now I'm like, no, I like a lot of Final Fantasy. I'm a big Final Fantasy fan. I do wholeheartedly believe it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 and 6 if you're like ranking them. And I don't like. I think Final Fantasy 1 is the only one where I would come away from it feeling like it wasn't. I wouldn't want to ever go back to it. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it to someone. It's not because it's like really, really bad. It's because it's very simple, and a decision you make at the very beginning of the game can make the very end of the game a slog. And the game isn't set up in a way for you to have an understanding of that until you get to the end of the game. Because that's what happened to me. I got to the end of the game, couldn't be the final boss because I didn't have a white mage. And then it was a case of like, right, well, my options available to me are to go level up, and that's boring as hell. I don't like it. 2 I really like. 2's one of those ones where I'm softer on it because it has a lot of cool ideas. The leveling system with the like using this, using swords to get better with swords. You've all played an Elder Scrolls. You all know how that works. That's a good time. The word system was cool. I kind of wish those 2 things had maybe made a comeback in another game. I don't think they do. 3 has probably one of my favorite reveals with the way the world works and the continent. That was incredible. I loved that. Blew my mind. And 3 was one that I'd played when I was younger. I have Final Fantasy 3 for the DS somewhere. And I never got to that point. So it happening, it was like incredible. 4's story is really good. I think gameplay wise it struggles, but that's because of the focus on one character. 4's story is really good though. And you go to the moon, which is funny. It's just funny. And then we talked about 5 and 6. 5 mechanically, I think it's the strongest of the lot. 6 story is probably the strongest of the lot. But they're a good time. If you have like an interest in sort of turn-based RPG history or just Final Fantasy as a series, the Pixel Remaster is definitely something I would like put up there. If I was, we said top 5 for this year. Astro Bot's currently in that top 5. Someone hold me to that. Final Fantasy 5 and 6 could both be in there. If you asked me on the spot, I would lean towards 6, weirdly. I think 6 more than 5. How is AC7 going, Peakworld? Because that game's sick as hell. Also, Straight-Faced. 2026. That's the year of Ace Combat, baby. Yeah, Final Fantasy. It's apparently good. I don't know if you've heard the news. Live on Wednesday night. Is it Wednesday today? Final Fantasy's good. It's crazy. I know. Final Fantasy 14! Have you heard of the critically acclaimed Final Fantasy 14, which includes the award-winning Heavensward expansion and a free trial that goes up to level 80? I don't remember what the capacitor is. Final Fantasy 14, I want to play more of this year. I've played some of it this year. Play AC7 when I play Golem. Easy trade. I'll play Golem to get you to play AC7. Easy. 14's another one of those games where I'm like, man, I wish I had been into this when I was younger, when I had more free time, when I had other, like, no responsibilities, I had nothing else, because 14 is a time sink, and it's a very cool time sink. It's got a lot of neat stuff. I think, again, as an MMO, mechanically it's a bit... Where you are at the start of an MMO, the mechanics are quite simple. Like, where I am still, I press the button that is highlighted next. I don't stand in the red circle. It is not a complex game. If you're a rhythm game gamer, you might fuck with this, because it's got that rhythm to it. But it's one of those things where I wish I just didn't have anything else on. Like, I could just binge 14 for a month, because I want to play other stuff. And 14's such a commitment, but I want to make that commitment, but also I want to drink like 12 Pepsi Maxes and play Hades 2. Fuck Hades 2, but we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. Will we talk about... Yeah, we will. I'm mad at Hades 2. Anyway, 14's really fun. It's a really neat experience. Adam's been brilliant with it. Mew's been great as well, like jumping in, showing the like going around. It's just... I think my feeling with it is just I wish I had time. I wish I just had blocks of time for it, because you kind of need that for an MMO. They're a bit like gacha games in a way, but I think MMOs are a bigger time sink. Like, they require more of your focus away from other things. Like, I play my gacha games, I jump in, maybe play an hour or so a day, have a good time with what I'm playing. Like, if I wasn't having a good time, I wouldn't be playing it. And then I jump off to something else. MMOs, I feel like that hour's not going to be enough. There's so much that I'm going to want to do. There's so many things that I need to experience, so many enjoyable tasks to go have fun with, that I struggle. Prof, did you find Adam in this one? And by that I mean he's not here. But yeah, 14's really, really neat. I just wish I was unemployed. No, Adam. There is an Adam in that one. I'm disappointed. He is on there. Yeah, 14 is a game that makes me wish I was unemployed. Which is a high compliment. That can be solved. Yeah, but then I wouldn't have food. Man. And no, you can't say a lot of games make you wish you were unemployed. Right? So, that's a bonus. That's a positive. You know, we just talked about how important jobs are. Well, 14 says, fuck jobs. You just found them. Good job, gamer. Final Fantasy 16 is a video game. It is Final Fantasy IV with an X in front of it and the V and the I switched around. And it's got Ben Starr. And Ben Starr's got a fucking incredible voice, man. That man sounds just... hi, you know? It's a good time. 16's a victim of me. Some of these games we've talked about, they're a victim of me. 16, I took a break in. It's that classic thing where I played a long game. I took a break in it. Beautiful eyes. And I think that's hurt it going back to it. But from what I am playing, I do think there's a side quest problem. Like, knowing that they patched in the ability to teleport back after you do the side quest is mad to me, because the side quests are really dull. At least from my memory, it's you talk to someone, they're like, oh, there's a problem, and then you go to the problem, and the problem isn't really that big of a deal, and then you sort the problem, and then you go back and it's like, well, that's not going to matter for anything ever. I'm like, okay, can I have some gil? Like, there you go. I'm like, what do I do with this? And I go, I don't know. Nothing worth spending money on. There's a crafting system. Do you want to engage with that? Sure. Yeah, it's kind of, like, boring, and there's nothing to it. All right. Like, there's a lot of... There's a weird amount of fat to that game that I think you could trim. Or fucking make it juicy. Right? The equipment and the crafting and all of that shit, just, I feel like it doesn't matter. Most problems are not that deep. True. That's very true. But Cyberpunk had Cyberpsych. If they put a Cyberpsych in Final Fantasy 16, I think it would be Game of the Year. But yeah, 16, I want to just buckle down on the story with it more. Because the story's really good, it's well acted. The actual core combat gameplay is really fun. Trying to remember how to play every time is a bit rough, but it is fun. It's fun to play. And I would just like to get it done. I'd like to finish it. Not because I'm like, oh, I want to get it done, but because I want to have a good time. I want to have a good old time. We need a new song. I'm putting Blockade on. Oh, Blockade's good, man. Yeah, 16's not in the top 5. It does do a lot of cool things, and I'll go to the people who say it's not Final Fantasy are insane, because if you point out a Final Fantasy to me, and then I'll point you a different Final Fantasy, you'll be like, are you going to tell me these two are the same thing? And if they're like, well, no, they're the same thing technically, because I actually like that one, but I don't like 16, then fuck off. Like, if I show you Final Fantasy 11, and then I show you Final Fantasy 2, they're wildly different. So if you're going to get pissy at me because Final Fantasy 16 isn't Final Fantasy 7, then, you know, look into Ben Starr's beautiful eyes and enjoy them. That's all you get from me. For the King 1 and 2, I'll never stop talking about Prof. For the King, I really like For the King. Weirdly, I think that when I played it before, I didn't see it as much. But I'm a bit roguelike pilled right now. Like, I'm playing Hades 2, got Binding of Isaac as a backup for Peak, and Peak's all basically a roguelike. I'm a bit roguelike pilled right now. And I'm enjoying For the King. I actually, Prof, after we were done playing For the King 2, I played a little bit on my own. Because I was just like, I'm going to start a new save and I'm just going to muck around. It's good. Weirdly, there's something about it that, again, it's a PS Vita game. I'd like to play it on a PS Vita or on a 3DS. On another system. I do have the roguelike mind virus. It's got like the mechanical nature of it. It's very like there's a rhythm to it. I talk about rhythm a bit too much, but there's a rhythm to it of your actions and your choices and what you're doing, and it just feels nice and it feels cool. And I'm talking like the guy from The Bear, but it's just neat. I am surprised the sequel got made. Not because there's any flaws with the original, but just I'm surprised that there was like work put into a sequel for it. I didn't think there'd be that much to it. Hope you heard me drink that. Oh, I didn't stir that properly. There's detritus. Love it. But yeah, I'm playing it with Prof is funny. Because Prof and I, we're very different gamers. I feel we've got very different mindsets when we play stuff. Prof is an efficient, German-based video gamer. And me, I think it's funny when he gets mad. So we really gel, I feel. I think we really gel together. It works really well. And I enjoy it. It's good times. Anyway. Hades 2! I told you I was feeling roguelike-y. I'm just feeling really roguelike-y recently. And I got Hades 2 for Christmas. Twice. But that's fine, because it's got crossplay, so it's sick as hell. Hades 2 almost made this stream not happen, because I was too busy playing Hades 2 yesterday to remember to do any setup for this. And then I got in today, and I got in early from work, and I started playing Hades 2. Because it's fucking good. And if Adam was here, I'd be bullying him, because I'd be bullying him to play Hades, because he keeps listening to the soundtrack he's saying, he's telling us. But he's not playing it. He's not playing the video game. It's a good video game. I'm just listening to a video game soundtrack recently that I'm not playing, but I don't remember what. But yeah, Hades 2 is great. Just more Hades. Hades is excellent. It's a very good time. I'll say yes to make you feel better. I will say yes to make you feel better. PS2 roguelike called Baroque. Ooh, I'm going to look up that word, and that's going to give me the definition for the word Baroque, but that's fine, because it's kind of a fun word, and I forget what it means. Oh, it's an art style! PS2. What the heck is Baroque? Oh, speaking of video games, I want to play Galarians this year. Anybody play Baroque? And there's a picture of One Piece? Peak. But yeah. Hades 2 is great. This is my own Game Award show. There's no awards being given out. I might go back and do like fake awards. There's no awards given out. It's just chatting about stuff that's cool. Yeah, Hades 2 is excellent. I'm a good ways into it. I've not beaten a run properly, but I've gotten a lot of stuff unlocked. Had a couple of almost wins. And also Binding of Isaac. Playing that with Proto on, when Peak gets too bad. That's great. Binding of Isaac's fucking solid, lad. Excuse me. That's a solid one. It is to me, like, Binding of Isaac is not obviously the originator of roguelites. It's not the one, but Binding of Isaac is the Final Fantasy of roguelikes for me, because it popularized the genre, and it was great. Yeah, we're playing Daredevil, man, because Daredevil's sick. So I'm a big fan of it. Big fan of Hades 1, really liking Hades 2. And also there's this art that I think it was the Hades 2 devs did. I think it was them. Of the various nominees. It was either them or one of the fucking developers did this. And it's a big Donkey Kong in white trousers, and I like it. It's great. But Isaac about Legion realized you couldn't remember how to accomplish any of the things you're missing from your remaining characters. Hell yeah, brother, hell yeah. Isaac's really. I mean, I played the shit out. I know you played the shit out of Isaac, bro. I played the shit out of Isaac. It's just fucking good. It's just good times. But roguelikes are cool. I like roguelikes. And I'm not afraid to say it. People out there, they've been going, oh, roguelikes. No one likes roguelikes. Oh, who likes roguelikes? No one's playing them. Not this guy. This guy? I'll stand there. I'll stand there. Those ain't planes and lames! How dare you! How dare you! No, okay. Look, Proto, I promise you, I'm with Prof on this one. I promise you, Ace Combat is sick as hell. But you're probably where I am. You're probably in that set before you've played it, where you're like, well, why would I want to play the plane? Why would I want to play the plane game? What's cool about that? But trust the process. Straight face, you better be listening to this too. Trust the process, because it's cool as hell. And also, Project Wingman has a roguelike mode, which is cool as well. And you could put a crying baby decal on your plane, probably, maybe. I don't know. There's probably a Binding of Isaac decal mod somewhere. I don't know. Anyway. I can no longer see Pro from now on. Oh. Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, featuring Ishin. So Ishin, I would like to continue. There's something about it that's like not gelling with me, though. I don't know what it is. Pirate Yakuza I beat this year. That was fun. Solid. I played it, but when didn't have internet here, so I couldn't stream it. And I was like, well, I don't want to hold on because it just come out. I want to play it. Really had a fun time with it. It's very solid. I don't know. RGG Studios are a bit of a funny one right now. I'm pretty much like, I was looking, I got an Amazon gift card from work recently. Not from work, but like via a thing at work. They got me an Amazon gift card. And I was looking at what to get with it. And Yakuza 3 Kiwami popped up. And I'm not interested because of all the shit that's been going down. And that kind of sucks. Because I got into Yakuza with Yakuza 3. My first Yakuza game was Yakuza 3 on the PlayStation 3. Don't even remember how I got a hold of a copy. Must have just seen it and was like, oh, this looks neat. Got it. It was neat. Had a cool time. Mine gang, where you at? Oh, there it is. Daredevil's so good. But Kiwami 3 I should be excited for. And I was when it was announced. I was excited, and like a lot of the stuff in it looks neat. But the delisting of the older version of the games is a bit shit. And that might be a Sega decision, that might not be an RGG decision. But what I don't understand is the like lack of, I do understand it, but I'm not pleased with the lack of like acknowledgement or action regarding the Kagawa actor, right? That shit sucks. RGG were a studio that were like really solid, and I think, you know, like development wise, the games they make are still really solid. But the choices they made in casting there are like really bad and should be changed. So I'm in a bit of like a sad place with Yakuza because I'm sort of looking at it forlornly. Like, I want to be excited for the next one. I want to get the next one, but I'm not going to. I'm not excited. I don't want to get the next one. And I'm worried it's going to like sort of fall to the wayside if we stay like that. It makes me a little sad. But that happens, you know. There's an ebb and flow in life. Same things make you happy, make you cry. That's what Big Smoke said, right? I live by Big Smoke wisdom. So same things make you happy, make you cry. Get up on the damn train. And then get gunned down in a drug warehouse. That's my 3 goals in life. Man. I just, you know, you got to have some sort of hope. Anyway, let's move on. LEGO Voyagers! If you have someone that you like to play video games with, or you have someone that you're like, they don't play a lot of video games, but they're like, they want to hang out and play some video games with you, or you have somebody who just fucking likes Lego, or if you're just cool, if you're just like a rad, cool-ass person, LEGO Voyagers. LEGO Voyagers. And I've spelled it wrong in here because I've spelled Voyagers, but it's Voyagers, I think. This is great. Game list in text, please. What do you mean? You want my whole game list in text? I could put that somewhere. But yeah, LEGO Voyagers is great. If you've played your Split Fictions, if you've played your It Takes Twos, if you've played it's your A Way Out, there's no scripted, Prof. I'm riffing. If you played it's A Way Out, you know, all your businesses. LEGO Voyagers is like that, but you're little Lego guys, and it's cool as hell. It's super cute. It's really pretty. It's absolutely worth playing. This could be a top 5 game. Thinking about it. So we've got Astro Bot, one of the Final Fantasies, LEGO Voyagers. I've not finished it still, but it's great. Highly recommend it. It's just really neat. And it's simple. Like, it's not too complex. It's fairly simple. But it's so pretty. What's this game on? This video game, Lego Voyagers, is on everything, I think. It's on PlayStation, it's on Switch, it's on PC. It has I believe it has the thing that It Takes Two and Split Fiction have, where you can have one person own a copy and the other person can join as a guest. So you don't have to both own the game. You missed half the Game Awards show. There'll be a VOD. Just wait for the VOD, which will be after this. Digital only. But yeah, I believe it is digital only. I don't know if they're doing a physical copy, but it is on stuff. That's great. My game of the year could be Galarians. We'll get to the end and just be Galarians. But yeah, it's genuinely just darn good fun. Highly recommend playing it with someone. I hope you've all spotted the hidden Adam. But yeah, highly recommend playing it with someone. It's very, very cute. Not too difficult. So you can play it with really anyone. If you've got somebody who'd like, like to do an activity with this person, but not sure what. Brilliant, Lego Voyagers, we'll play that with them, because that's really, straightforward and simple. You can move and you can jump. And anything more slow, you can grab stuff. It's not super complex. But yeah, that could be a top 5. We'll think about it. That could be up there, though. I think if I'd finished it, it'd probably be a top 5. Metaphor ReFantasio! Oh, God. Look, the Adam on this one's easy to find because I forgot to move him. This isn't really about Metaphor. This isn't about Metaphor because I've not played enough of it to really have a strong opinion other than it's more Atlas. It's basically more Shin Megami Tensei style games. It's neat. I'm looking forward to playing more. I play a lot of big fucking games and it's becoming a problem. I start a lot of long games. Maybe I should just start the Yu-Gi-Oh! Early Days collection instead. But I start a lot of games that are big, and they're long, and they're girthy, and they just take forever. And with Metaphor, I keep coming back and forth on it. I want to play Raido Kusanova versus the Soulless Army, but a lot of the games I play on stream. Because that's when I want to play someone, I'd like to play it on stream. But then they're long, and I don't know. By the time you play Metaphor, you think it would be cool to sit in Japan with an animal mascot carrying JoJo stands. Finally, Ichiban and Namba team up with Persona Joker to beat Trash Bags up. Fuck yeah. Well, it's Ichiban, Nanba, Joker, and then the Final Fantasy X-2 ladies. I don't know if you're seeing them in the back there, Prof. But I see Pain, and I'm pretty sure that is Yuna. Yeah, long games are hard when you're employed. That'd be a better title for this one than Girth. And that's no knock on it. Again, it's just I really want to play it because I love Shin Megami Tensei, but it's dense, and I should stop putting dense games on the thing. But the dense games are the ones I want to play. When the hell am I going to play Final Fantasy 14? When am I going to play Final Fantasy X-2? Where are we? Who are we? But what I played in Metaphor's cool. It's very neat. I like the combat system. I want to play more of it. It's Digital Devil Saga sort of / Persona, which is great. And if you know what I mean by both of those things, look me up. I'm in the yellow pages. I'm under Plumber, but spelled with an A, because the A stands for anal leakage. I'll plumb that up. Anyway, Metal Garden. Metal Garden was cool. Very, very short, but very cool. Shout out to Straight Face for getting me that one. It was very neat. You should play more stuff that people recommend you. That's to me and to you as like a collective. We should play more stuff that people recommend. Because you'll either get like a unique experience that you enjoy, or you'll get like an insight into like the people you care about, right? The people who are like into stuff. And like you can play stuff that people have recommended and then bounce off of it. That's fine. But when someone comes to you and they're like, here's this new thing that you've not given a go, and I think it's cool, give it a shot. Give it a shot. Give it a go. Be like, right, well, let's see what this is all about. Let's see where we can find the common thread here. And be like, yeah, do you know what? This is kind of neat. And Metal Garden was really cool. Really great atmosphere. Perfect length. Short games are good when you're employed. Perfect length. Just kind of a vibe. I need to play more shit like this year. Just sort of vibe-based games. You should recommend people games you don't like, actually. I take it all back. Find games you don't like and recommend them. Don't recommend Metal Garden. Recommend, Oh god, I'm looking at my games and I'm like, do I not like any of my games? And I'm like, no, because Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King for the GameCube is sick as hell, and Lord of the Rings: The Third Age for the GameCube is also sick as hell. It's Final Fantasy X, but Lord of the Rings. It's Final Fantasy X, but Lord of the Rings. That's fucking cool. Joe to play something as this game is good, but I don't buy it. Ace Combat should only export success. I'm sure you've exported something else to be prof. Dispatch Dispatch only 8 hours. I thought it was longer. Is Adam in the red dot site? Well, if he was on there, that'd be a good place for him to go. Yeah, Metal Garden was really neat. I recommend giving it a go. For those out there, give it a shot. Give it a little go. Just like take an afternoon or an evening. Just be like, right, I'm just gonna bang this out, start to finish, and see what the vibe is. And it's cool. You'll have a little time with it. And if you come out the other end, you're like, do you know what wasn't for me? Hey, could have been stuck watching YouTube shorts, which is what keeps happening to me. So, hell yeah. It felt long because they released 2 chapters a week for 4 weeks. Oh. But it's only like 8 hours. Interesting. The Metal Gear Solid board game, or Metal Gear Solid the board game with Adam. This is cool as hell. I need to invite some people around to play it. But it's really awkward because, like, to play the main game, you have to do some levels solo, and then you slowly acquire other players to play with you. Or you do the VR missions. Then you've got to explain the whole rules to them. We've been playing this on Tabletop Sim. And it's been really good. It's not stuck in my teeth. Tabletop Sim is very good. Very solid bit of tech there. Big fan. Big shout out to anybody who makes stuff for Tabletop Sim as well. Like, there's the devs, and then there's the people who put the shit in. It's crazy. Like, it's brilliant. The Metal Gear Solid board game, being someone who's not played a lot of board games, also being somebody who's especially not played a lot of board games that are trying to, like, emulate the experience of another game, the Metal Gear Solid board game does an incredible job. It does, like, a really incredible job. It's been great fun playing with Adam. It's really hard, but I like things that are hard. So, and it's harder than it looks. So I'm having like a good time. I was having a good time with it, and I am looking forward to playing it more. I'm hoping we get to do more of the VR missions. I'd like us to potentially get, Adam, myself, and 2 other people for the final VR mission, because that one's got like specific stuff for if you're playing with like multiple people. It's very cool. Does anybody played any? Here's Dorwood. Oh, Prof, you're a smart guy. Does anybody else like have any board game video games that they've played before? I'm very curious. Adam's mentioned the RE2 one, but the Metal Gear Solid one's really strong, and the figurines are really cool. If I wasn't terrified of fucking it up, I'd love to paint them. But what I'd rather do is somehow get a second box of my Metal Gear Solid board game and then ship that to someone who paints them, and consider if I could take like a mortgage out on one of my friends. I'd do life insurance, but I don't understand how that works. I don't really want you to die, so if I could take a mortgage out on you. Prof, you got any mortgages on you? I'll take a mortgage out on you. I'll take a mortgage out on your GPU. That'd be a good time. Ship it to Proto. Now there's an idea. There's an idea. You have a mortgage? Perfect. You're my mortgage now, Prof. But yeah, great time. If you're a Metal Gear fan, genuine, if you're a Metal Gear fan, fully recommend it. Because you can play it solo. You can play it with some pals. It's really high quality. The little figures that come with it are really neat. The version I got as a gift from a friend. He got the version for me that comes with the Rex model and the book. It was great. It was sick as hell. But highly recommend it if you're a Metal Gear fan, because it's a damn good time. It's a damn good time, and I'm sad that the company seems to be shit in the bed. Oh, it's going to be more Metal Gear. What are we doing next? I'm going to guess we are going to be on Metal Gear Solidella. Oh, I'm an incredible genius. Remake Mum or Remaster Dad. That's where we are. I'm going to cough. And drink some of my Leffe. Della is a weird game. Affectionate. It's weird in brackets affectionate, because it's Metal Gear Solid 3 with a very shiny coat of paint. But actually it's not just Metal Gear Solid 3 with a very shiny coat of paint, because we've done some mechanical changes to how Snake controls, to your options, to what you can do. But also, we've not really changed much. So we've changed just enough for it to not be just a remaster, but not enough for me to sit there and go, well, this is just a full-blown remake, reimagining kind of thing, because it is in that weird middle ground. Demon's Souls is like borderline, but Demon's Souls is a remaster, like the Demon's Souls re-release on PS5, because if I remember right, all of the frame data is the exact same, the actual like mechanics of it are the exact same. It's just got this incredible shiny new coat of paint. It's not the case with the Metal Gear Solid Delta here. This is a new game. This is a new game wearing the skin of an old game, wearing the skin of a new game. And as gross as that sounds, it was cool as hell, man. It was fucking... I loved it. It was a great time. The, like, changes to some... Well, not, I don't know there are changes, but the way some of the boss fights felt, like the Vulcan boss fight and the boss fight, they were great. The pain can get stuffed. If I don't... If someone needs to make a mod... You know, you can skip the fade in Dragon Age Origins mod. I need someone to make a mod for Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater that removes the pain from the game. The fact that there's a glitch that lets you just, like, teleport past him is phenomenal. Because he sucks. But I did enjoy my time with it. Delta I don't think would be in top 5 unless I need a slot filled. Only on account of the fact that it doesn't change as much as I'd have liked it to. I would have rather it have been more of a remake mum. It's too close to remaster dad. It's like remake Star Uncle. But I would have rather it have been closer to remake mum. Because I wanted, you know, new guard routes or change like guard mechanics, additional mission stuff. And it doesn't come with that. It doesn't have the like chutzpah to really push it over the finish line for me. But I'm not knocking it. I do think it's really fun. The halfway point between mum and dad is uncle. Because he could be your brother's dad. Wait, no, hang on a minute. That's not how that works. Okay, he could be your dad's brother, but also fucked your mum. That's what I meant. But you know where I was going with that. Uncle, grandpa. Yeah, I wish Delta had done more. What it does do is very good, and the Guy Savage minigame is very neat. But I just wish it had done more. What it did do, though, and what it did do a little bit more, and there are at least one of us. I'm gonna be the strongest defender of Fox Hunt. I really like Fox Hunt. The more I think about it, and the time I had when I was playing it, I really like Fox Hunt. I'm not a big MGO... Like, I enjoyed MGO3, but at the end of the day, it was like a very classic shooter that I was bad at. MGO2 looks like... It scares me. My memory of playing it was that it was hard as balls and I got killed all the time. And then, like, looking at other people playing it, I'm like, this is a game where... This is a game that looks like it's been solved, and the people who are solving it, they're like the Albert Einstein of Metal Gear. Or the Quentin Tarantino with feet. Wait, you know what I mean. Like, it's just too hard. Fox Hunt has enough jank to it that there's like an equalizer, and I need that equalizer because I'm bad. But also, the camo system, I do think is really well thought out. Prof's not played a single round yet, so you know it's good. The camo system's really good. Oh, there goes a load of fireworks. Oh my lord! They're right outside my house. You're gonna be able to hear them because they're like literally right out there. They're gonna they're gonna be loud. Get ready for this shit. I can see them too. I'm like looking at them. I don't think I can make them any quieter, so I hope you guys don't hear this. Sometimes someone's tapping on my window. It does. But yeah, so... Oh shit, Happy New Year. Yeah, we're about to actually turn the page. Gonna turn the page on the best video game of all time, Metal Gear Solid Delta Fox Hunt Snake Eater. Oh, fuck me. Fox Hunt I really, really like. I wish it gets more support, or it gotten more support. It looks like, you know, there might be stuff in there that it'll get. I do think that there's balancing issues with it. Sometimes play Fox Hunt without headphones in the room. Oh, 2026 gamers. I do wish that there's more done with the balancing of it. Prof had a very apt read on it, which was like it's got the Battle Royale rarity system in a game that isn't a Battle Royale, and it fucks things up. Merry New Year! Happy January! I haven't spoken to some of you guys since last year. Yeah, Fox Hunt is one of those ones. There's a part of me. There's a fucked up part of me. There's two wolves inside of me. One of them played Delta. One of them likes Fox Hunt. There's a fucked up part of me that's like, maybe I should put Fox Hunt in my top 5 because I had a good time with it. But I think I had a good time with it because I'm not good at like multiplayer games, and I'm chill about that. I hope. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm mad about it. But like, I hope, like, when I play them, I feel like I'm fairly relaxed. I think that works. I think if you're like into multiplayer games and also it pisses you off when you lose, this game would really ruin your day. But when I lose, I'm like, yeah, probably that was probably right. When I win, I'm like, how'd that happen? When I lose, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. That's probably correct. Oh, it's very good though. It's very good. Maybe I should get Adam back into it. We'll see. Oh, baby! The Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, and the Resident Evil 4 randomizers. So this is the third R. We've had remakes, we've got remasters. Where the fuck are my official randomizers? That's what I'm looking for, developers. Put an actual randomizer in your game. Very briefly, we'll talk about the MGS3 one. It is a cheat engine-based like item randomizer, which just randomizes every item into everything else. I don't think it's very interesting because it seems like you can't break the game with it. Keys don't work until certain flags are set, so I don't remember liking it as much. It's a cool concept, but without that being solved, it's not as interesting. The RE4 one was an enemy randomizer, which is very funny. It feels very fun to play because you are getting your shit pushed in by like 12 Krausers that have appeared in the first village, and then like a Regenerador that appears. Randomize the son of roguelike daughter. That's actually hard. I lean towards roguelike daughter because I see more games do that. God of War Ragnarok has a roguelike mode, which is what makes me want to play it. I'm not really interested in the main game, I just kind of want to play the roguelike mode. The Last of Us Part 2 has a roguelike mode, which is what makes me want to upgrade my copy of it. Not because I want any, just because I want to play the roguelike mode. But I think it's harder for certain things. The MGS2 randomizer though, and it's another one where I'm like, I'd like to play more of it in the new year. The MGS2 randomizer is fantastic. If you played MGS2 or you like MGS2, probably if you played it, you should probably play it even if, you know, play it first. But then play the randomizer. It's just fun. You have all these weird interactions, all of these odd things that can happen. You know, being able to like set flags in the wrong way. It's very neat. It's very neat. And I really enjoyed my time with it. That's why I did so many runs in like such a short time, because I was really enjoying my time with it. What I would say is that it's hard to like, there's clearly a limit on how much you could then do with something like that. But I would love to see it in more games. Like the door randomizers in the old Resident Evils are a neat time, where each door takes you into a completely different place, so you have to rely on like your memory of where each door now is like connected to. Randomized environment, there was mods around the game or game mode, yeah. Which is unfortunate, but also it's, you know, hard. A remake 1 rando run would be funny, Prof, because I've never finished the first Resident Evil remake. I've never finished the first Resident Evil. I'm not great with tank controls, so if I did a rando run, I would be completely stuck. In fact, no, I think a rando run could be funny because I've got like some knowledge of it. I don't have the keys to the kingdom, so I don't know what's going to unlock the door, but I know that the keys exist and the doors exist and the kingdom's somewhere out there, so I might be able to figure it out. What beat RE Remake 1 randomized? Hell yeah. I need to finish RE3. Do you remember I was playing RE3? I should go back to that. Yeah, the MGS2 randomizer is really the chef's kiss. You know the vibe? Lip bite chef's kissed. It's good times. It's a dang good time. Right. I don't know what's next. Oh, it's Me-Side! We can't fix her. That was this year, apparently. According to me? Steam? Me-Side. Man, if you've not played Me-Side, I would say give it a go. It's one of those like cool, spooky, unique visual novel games. I think I like it more than the other like main one, Doki Doki. I think Me-Side's got a few more neater things to it. But I had a really good time with Me-Side. That's one of those. That's one of those good time video games where if you were like, oh, do you ever play Me-Side? I'd be like, oh yeah, Me-Side. I remember Me-Side. That was great. That was a good time. And then you'd be like, oh, do you remember this bit? And I'm like, no. You'd be like, oh, well, okay. Well, do you remember this bit? And I'm like, no. You go, oh, you sure you played it? I was like, yeah, I beat it. It was great. I loved it. I'm like, oh, okay, so what about this bit that everybody talks about? And I'm like, what are you talking about? What's going on? Who are we? Where am I? Prof could fix her. Prof, you probably could. That's that German engineering in your blood. Is that inappropriate? That feels inappropriate. That's a new year. It's fine. We can. This is what 2026 is all about. Apparently being rude towards Germans. Yeah. Not a lot to say about it. Oh god, no, bruv, no. Not a lot to say about it. Just it's good and I recommend it. It's good and I recommend it. Oh right, so when I get shown pictures of American food and they're like, oh look at this. Look, this could be British slop. I'm the bad guy. But when I say something slightly rude towards a German, no, that's about right. Yeah, no, I deserve this. Right. We've hung on Me-Side enough. Let's get off this. Yeah, friend slop! Ohana means family. So does friend slop. I'm not... Apparently slop was the Merriam-Webster's word of the year. I think it was. It was the dictionary's word of the year. I mean it positively. Both these games, good times for friend slop. I would say different vibes, but it turns out if you get if shit goes the wrong way, Peak turns into Lethal Company, which is scary as hell, and a goblin comes up and tries to gobble you up. But Lethal's fun. Lethal's a good one. Hopefully there's more patch. Both these games are sort of in a weird place where the Lethal Company dev hasn't really talked much about Lethal for a little bit, and the Peak devs are saying right, we don't really want to. We weren't planning on doing as much as we've done, so we're going to slow stuff down. Out of the two of them, I can't rank them. I wouldn't put two bad bitches against each other. So the Peak devs reply to say the term slop is bad. They're saying we like it. Yeah, slop's fucking cool. You know what we used to eat for centuries? We ate slop. You know what pigs do? They eat slop. You know what pigs are? Big and strong. And cool as hell. Alright? If you got a problem with slop, you got a problem with hogs. If you got a problem with hogs, you got a problem with me. Because I fucking love hogs. Peak's great though. Peak's a good time. The stream with Adams lot, where there was multiple of us and we were going up, very funny. Mostly because I didn't know none of them had played it before. I thought somebody else had played it before. So when I looked back over and saw that 5 people were still stuck behind, I thought, fuck. I can't just go on ahead. I gotta stick with it. But playing with pro has been a very fun time. Exactly, bunch of amateurs. You want a crumb of AC4 Invincible Fleet? I'll find you some AC4 Invincible Fleet. I just don't think it's as good as some of the other tracks. But yeah, playing Peak Yourself Pro has been a very fun time. It's a good old time. Okay, maybe it's kind of neat. It's a good old time. And we get some, what ifs. I love a good what if. Like, for example, Proto. Would you rather have that monster from Lethal Company as your daughter, or would you rather the goblin guy from Peak is constantly following you in your life? And if he touches you, you turn into the Bone Man. Roots can eat a dick. It's very funny, but it can eat it. We got Roots when we played, when it was the big group. We got Roots, I think. Did we get Roots? No, we did get Roots. We didn't get Roots. Because if we got Roots, we'd have probably killed ourselves. On the one hand, you don't want to be a bone man. Well, you're going to be a bone man. Being a parent. Yeah, but you're a parent to probably a very easy child, surely. You just leave them in the factory and then they're done. Both really good. Friend slop's a positive thing. There's an RV friend slop game. There's a Pokemon Snap friend slop game coming out. I'm okay with it. And there's something about Peak that just... It's got that rhythm. It's got that game feel. It's got that rhythm where I feel like when you're in it, when you're solving problems, when you're tackling dangers, when you're looking at your pal and you're going, He'd have his dad go, "Good job," when he finishes. You're just like, hell yeah. You're like, hell yeah. This is a good time. We should branch out on more Friend Slop. Friend Sloppers. Friend Sloppy Toppy. The year of 2026 is the year of Friend Sloppy Toppy. Peglin, Balatro, and Dismantle. Again, we are not really going to be talking about those games specifically. What I will say, Peglin is a fun time. Balatro, you already know it's a fun time. Dismantle was one that I got into in jury service, and that's a neat time. It's like a isometric zombie business. It's fun. But playing all of them has just sort of made me feel sad for the fact that we lack handhelds now. You don't have handheld console releases. There are rumors, there are talks about it. I'm not counting the fucking Xbox Asus ROG piece of shit, because it's just a Asus Ally that's got an Xbox thing. But I didn't send anyone to anything, prof. They didn't let me in. But PlayStation apparently working on a portable thing, but I feel like it's just going to be like a Switch kind of thing. We don't have a dedicated handheld like ecosystem anymore. You have mobile phones, because mobile phones have replaced that, and I play games on them and I enjoy the games I play on them, but Switch doesn't come under this. Switch isn't, because the Switch isn't like less powerful DS. Yes, sorry, Switch is under the like PlayStation home console thing, but the Switch is like a less powerful home console. The Switch 2 is sort of a PS4 equivalent or something, I don't remember. Like, I want actual handhelds. I want smaller consoles with worse graphics, made by funnier devs, doing 1,200 spin-offs for like a game series that no one cares about. In 2026, we don't get a 358 over 2 days. And that's tragic. That's sad. We don't even get the fucking Kingdom Hearts mobile game, because that got cancelled. They made 2 of them. They ended the service of 2 of them. They were going to make a 3rd one that was Pokemon Go, and they didn't even finish that. Modded handheld seems kind of where it's at now. There's like a... You know, I'm not a old things are better guy. But there was this point when you had like the home console ecosystem and the handheld ecosystem, and they were doing different, interesting, unique things in their restrictions. And now we're in a position where like there's fewer restrictions, and you know what that means? 200 gigabyte game sizes. All that the lack of restrictions has given us is fucking bigger games, because you don't need to compress anything anymore. Are they better? I don't know. Let me look at my games. Are you going to tell me that fucking Street Fighter 6 is better than Spectrobes on the DS? Probably not. Because Spectrobes was cool as hell. Do you get the same kind of Spectrobes now? No. No, I don't even know you get Spectrobes at all. One of the games I bought this year is a collection of Yu-Gi-Oh games for, like, the Game Boy. That's where my head's at. That's where my head's at, man. My head's at Spectrobes. Oh, brother. But yeah, I'm just kind of... I guess, there was this moment when I was playing, I think, Peglin or Dismantle, where I was like, man, I do miss the era of, like, the bigger developers making dedicated handheld games that weren't designed for a mobile ecosystem, weren't designed for, like, a mobile monetization system. Like, they were designed to be full video games on that small platform that had unique ideas that were built in those restrictions. And there are indie games of Plum that do this, right? I do kind of miss... I think there's a value in having like these bigger names, these bigger developers also be making stuff like this. Like making Final Fantasy XII Revenant Wings for the DS. Or The Legend of Zelda Minish Cap. There's a certain je ne sais quoi that we've lost. And again, that's what progress is. That's what happens. I can be sad about it, but I've got to pull my britches up, strap my cock on, and be like, do you know what? At least there's a Silent Hill 2 remake, and that's kind of neat. Anyway. Pokemon Black! Speaking of handheld games, been playing Pokemon Black, been playing it alongside someone, they've been playing Pokemon White, I'm playing Pokemon Black, or it's the other way around and I can't remember. Pokemon Black to me, and this is just going to be a bit of a Pokemon talk, I think more and more I lean on it being the best Pokemon game, either Black or Black 2. If I'm allowed to take them as a duology, it's like no contest. Black and Black 2 as a duology are the best Pokemon experience. If you do the memory link, where you pass your data over from the first game to the second one, the sprite work in it is phenomenal. The story's very good. Standard Pokemon combat, which if you're into, you're into. If you're not, you're not. I'm into it. It's got that, like, it's just quick enough for how simple it is. I like it. That's genuinely Proto is because I made this basically just before starting. I've forgotten what is coming next on every single slide. I cannot remember for the, like, I don't know what's I know what's after this one, but I didn't know I didn't know Black was here. Because I can't remember what. Also, I should, because they're mostly in alphabetical order. So I should know what's coming next. It's like there's a limited number of games that I could go to. But Black's great. Pokemon Black, very good time. Highly recommend it. It's got a great ROM hack by Drano. You thought I am medicated, but it's midnight and that shit wears off. So, yeah, very, very, very fond of Pokemon Black. Soundtrack's really good. There's no real notes for it. That's like that. So this is where we're gonna see it in the next one, but this is where I'm talking about that. Like, there's the je ne sais quoi. There's the magic that I feel like we lose as a lot of developers are pulled into the effectively home console space, because you can't say what Game Freak are doing on the Switch is like still handheld. They are doing that in the home console space, and Game Freak didn't make the home console Pokemon games. They didn't make Pokemon Colosseum. They didn't make Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. They didn't make Battle Revolution, I don't think. They were done by other people. So when Game Freak came into the home console space, they were coming in as a team who just built handheld games. And I think that's a part of where you see the failings of like the modern Pokemon games. And I still find joy in them, but that's because I willingly lowered my standards to do that. And I'll accept that. I'm okay with that. But that is where I am. Oh, that's what I wanted. Like, I lowered my standards, and I'm having fun. Because I like McDonald's. Basically, I like McDonald's food. I like eating it. I know it's not good for me. I know it's more expensive than it probably should be, but I like it. It's a good time. McDonald's food makes me feel good, and then it makes me feel probably bad the next day, but I never remember that. I want it to be more. I'd like it to be a little bit more, but maybe that's okay. Maybe it's fine. It is something from AC0. Good eye, Prof. Good beer. Maybe that's fine. I've accepted my McNintendo. I enjoy it. I like my 2 cheeseburgers. I like my wrap of the day. I like my Happy Meal toy being scalped in Japan by like hundreds of Pokemon card collectors if they just left their rubbish on the floor, which is crazy because Japanese McDonald's slaps. So I can't believe you'd be going to a McDonald's in Japan to like scalp a load of cards and then not actually eat the food, because the food goes kind of hard. You don't know AC0 enough? It's the round table. ZA I should go back to, because I like it. I like a lot of the ideas. But the thing is, I think the thing with Game Freak in the modern era is I like a lot of the ideas, and they just don't quite stick the landing. The Gen 10 leaks look funky, but also we have no idea if any of them are legitimate still. God gives water to those who are not thirsty. A good quote. But like, I would genuinely argue Legends EA is well made. I would argue that a lot of the the first Pokemon games they made on the Switch, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, are perfectly cromulent, as we'll say. They are well made, they look great, they play fine, like, they're solid. They're solid. But you know why they're solid? It's because Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee are made with like the philosophy of the handheld games. They have... You could put them on the 3DS, change somehow how the models look, and they'd work. They'd be fine. Sword and Shield fall apart because they're like in this weird middle gap. Scarlet and Violet again, have a lot of cool ideas, but struggle. And Legends EA has a lot of cool ideas that I think it does better with. I think it's cooler. I like the combat system more. I forgot about Legends Arceus, but I'll talk about that one in a minute. But it just needs something. I don't know what. It needs something. You like KFC and McDonald's? I like McDonald's. I always think I want KFC and then I have it, and I'm like, I don't know why I had that. Doubly give it to the next person? Sick, man. The Yorumak? The Yorumak goes hard. Legends Arceus didn't like click with me, but I know it clicked with a lot of people because it had the experience. But that's the thing. Legends Arceus, I think, had the ideas. It just didn't execute them very well. ZA, I think, has the ideas and it does execute them better. I like the combat system in ZA a lot. I think it's very cool. The real-time business is neat. KFC is better than McDonald's. That is probably the worst take you've ever had. And a lot of the time I would be like, you know what, I have bad takes. That is genuinely... I was about to just say something really mean that's not true. I was going to say I think less of you, but that's not true. It's just really mean for no reason. The thing is, right, KFC is like mediocre across the board. If you're having a bad time at McDonald's, you're bad at ordering McDonald's. Right? There are perfectly, like, there's really easy orders to make at McDonald's that are really cheap, and for the price that you're getting, they're a good time. If you're going to McDonald's and you're ordering stuff and you're not liking it, you're ordering the wrong stuff. It's easy. If you go to KFC and you're ordering stuff you don't like, well, guess what? It's all the same fucking fried chicken recipe, so you're not getting anything different. McDonald's burgers are bad, so you just get insane take. Insane take. McDonald's burgers. What burgers are you getting at McDonald's, man? Do you still not like melted cheese? Is this where we are? Nah, man. That's crazy. KFC's too expensive and not good. I'm not getting into an argument about fucking McDonald's over Pokemon Legends EA. What platformer games are the best? The ones you like. The burgers don't taste like burgers. If you're comparing like a McDonald's £1.29 burger to a like gourmet 15 quid burger, then you're the crazy man. You're the insane one. There's come in the air for those with the asses to take it, or something like that. I don't know. What was the thing you said straight faced? Oh, I want McDonald's now. Yeah, McDonald's clears KFC easy. Easy. Greg's is okay. Greg's has stuff that I like, but I think I like their breakfast stuff solidly. I'm not a hot sausage roll guy. I'm not like a hot baked guy a lot of the time. Like, I like a steak bake, but it's not my first choice. I don't like a hot sausage roll. It is too bad I don't live 10 minutes from a 24-hour McDonald's. True. I'll just trek it. I live what? Like... I live a walking distance from a McDonald's, but it's not a good walking distance. It's not short. And they're like one of the few times we ordered McDonald's here. It arrived an hour and a half later, stone cold, because the delivery just didn't happen. Yeah, I wouldn't get McDelivery ever, because it's mad, it's crazy. I just don't want to do it. Anyway, let's move on from this. Let's move on from McDonald's. Oh, I don't want to though. I want to eat it, and I want to play Legends EA. I want to have 2 cheeseburgers. I want to have a wrap of the day. I want to have Legends EA. I want to have a good time. Right? I want to have a good damn time, and that would be a good time if I had those things in front of me right now. But you know what I have in front of me right now? I have a Lethe. I have a blonde Lethe. Next slide. Fuck! Oh, it's Prof! I love Germany, man. Genuinely, I'm like, oh god, what's happening here? Yeah, Prof and I played RE5. Prof and I played RE5. RE5, classic. Yeah, I'm talking, man. There's a lot of Lethe to get through. Also, I only opened it today. RE% was fun. I know what you did. RE5 was fun. Man. You've been through 3 drinks. I'll pass you the mic. Come here, I'll pass you the mic. I should drink more, though. Still amazed you got through the Sheva QT near the end because you never did that thing in life. Because I believe in you. I believed in you, Prof. Do you know what happens, Prof? You play with people and they're not believing in you the way I believe in you. Because I believe in the you that believes in me, that believes in you. And that guy, he knows what he's on about. RE5's fucking cool. I think of the... Let's say the 4, 5, 6, like, era of Resident Evil games. RE5 is mechanically my favorite. I love how the gunplay feels. I love how the menus feel. Mercenaries has got my favorite mercenaries. 6 has really fun movement and really, like, it's got the hand-to-hand combat stuff. But 5 mechanically feels great. It's really solid. And as a co-op experience, it's good fun because it's just stupid enough for you to be able to not pay too much attention to it without it, like, completely derailing you. You don't have to focus on it too much story-wise to have a fun time with it. There is... So, current leaks and rumours about Resident Evil is that there is a 0 remake that is close to completion, just like me. And then I think there's hints towards a 5 remake, but the 5 remake is probably one of the hardest ones for them to remake because... One, I actually don't think it's that hard. I think you could play RE5 today and it would be absolutely fine. But it's the nature of RE5, the nature of the controversy around it before it came out, that remaking it, you either change a lot, and it's like, well, we all know why you changed all of that, didn't you? Or you don't change anything, and you're like, maybe we should have changed some of that, shouldn't we? Shouldn't we? Like, Sheva's creation as a character was in response to the fact that, oh, yes, maybe having a white American guy just beating up people in Africa is not a good look. Maybe you should have someone else there to soften the blow. And it's like, well, that's not a great solution, if I'm honest. There's still not, like, a super solution. But they want to go global with Resident Evil, right? After 3. And Code Veronica sort of went, well, it didn't really. It just went to Rikers Island. 4 was then, right, let's go to nondescript European country. Un palastero and all of that business. And then 5 was like, well, let's draw a line and step over it. Let's be a bit silly. But I played this with Prof. And as always, it's fun playing things with Prof. Because he's a goofy fella. He's good at games. And I think I am taking years off of his life. And it's important to have goals. Oh, so... These two, Prof and I haven't played 6. No, I played 6 with Uvi a while back, but I haven't played 6 with Prof yet. I don't know if we're gonna. But Signalis and Crow Country, 2 games I want to go back to. Again, this is a me problem. I started them. I played 6 a few times. I really like it. RE6. I played them a few times. Should go back to them. Both of them very neat. It's just me. I think I shouldn't have started both of them at the same time. That was the downfall. It's kind of the curse of, like, you have 2 things that you really like. You've got these 2 things that you think are cool. But you don't just focus on one. You're like, oh, I'm going to do both. And then you do both and you don't do either. Right, I've tried to do everything and now I've done nothing. But I'd like to go back to them. Crow Country, I think I was like a decent way through. But going back to it now is going to be a bit fucked because I don't know what I'm doing next. Signalis, I wasn't that far, I don't feel. So I could go back to it. Of the 2, if I had to pick, I currently like Crow Country more, but that's probably because I played more of it. I think the enemy design in it's neater. That skeleton guy, when I first saw him, scared the shit out of me. The air, like the location it's set in is quite neat. But Signalis, I just need to put more time into. That's all it is. I need to spend more time with it, which I haven't. So if I go back to it, which I hope to, I'll maybe rediscover some enjoyment there. Oh, I need a bev. I need to drink. Crow Country is definitely a vibes game. It's just got vibes. Signalis has them too, but I've not played enough of it to really engage with the vibes extensively. But, you know, it can always be on the docket. We can always get it on there and look at it and be like, and then have Prof yell at me for a bit. But both very solid games. Halloweeny too. That's the other thing, right? Like fixed camera horror games sort of went by the wayside from like big developers. That's the other thing. Like in sort of the sort of independent space, you get these almost nostalgia fueled experiences that echo those of your youth or those of the past. That's a fun time. But no one's making a PS Vita. Bloody, what is it? Team Cherry aren't coming out with a PS Vita, so why would I play Silksong 2? If Team Cherry aren't going to put it on the PS Vita, huh? Put it on the PS Vita and I'm in. I hope you found the Adam in this one, Prof, because I can't remember where I put him, and I think I know where I put him, but he's very small. If Team Cherry make a PS Vita, I will play Silksong 2. You should have bought me Silksong 2. What? You got to play the first one, right? Oh, Silksong. No, because it's Hollow Knight Silksong. It's not called Silksong 2. Yeah, you should have bought me Silksong 2, a game that doesn't exist. It's just Hollow Knight, right? It's Hollow Knight and then Hollow Knight Silksong. On the left table. Prof thinks he knows. Did you also call it Silksong 2? I thought you were making fun of me. The reason why this is titled Jimmy Brown is because I was thinking of, like, titling this I Miss My Dead Wife, and then I thought of the Jimmy Brown song, I Miss My Dead Dog, and I just couldn't think of anything else, so I put Jimmy Brown. I played the Silent Hill 2 remake with a couple of pals. That was a fun time. That was a good time. We started off switching the controller, and then after a point, I had the controller, and we weren't switching anymore. And that wasn't like me going, oh no, I'm going to play the video game. I think it's just I played more, and then it was sort of a case of like the game's gotten harder, and it'd be hard to switch around at that point. Then play Hollow Knight to play Silksong from an arrow perspective. That's what I've heard. Like, from a skill perspective, I've heard that you need to have played the first one, really. Silent Hill 2 Remake is excellent. Against all, genuinely, I think all of the signs leading up to the Silent Hill 2 Remake were... That image of James there is how you would feel, like, in the build up to the Silent Hill 2 Remake. Of like, oh, Silent Hill's coming back. Oh, who's going to make it? Well, it's not going to be Konami themselves. Oh, okay, who's going to make it? Bloober. What have Bloober done? A bunch of horror games that have been dogged on. For a combination of mixed themes, where I think one of the games Bloober made was literally like, hey, killing yourself is the solution, which is insane. They just went, yeah, do you know what? Maybe you should do it, because don't have much to live for. I don't think that's a good solution. I don't think that's a good message. Now, maybe for Silent Hill 2, maybe they did get the right writers for Silent Hill 2. Because James is a fucked up guy. But Bloober pulled it out. They did a good job. And then they made a Dead Space-like, and I heard positive things about that. So, they're doing well. The Silent Hill 2 remake's really good. I think, and we'll talk about it a little bit more on it as well, but the shift in combat, I do understand where like the original fans come from, and I do kind of agree with them. Like, James is a more combat ready because of the shift in perspective, which can have an odd feeling about it. They are doing the Silent Hill 1 remake exactly. It can have a bit of an odd feeling about it. The original does have this sort of, because of the controls, and it's not even necessarily a deliberate thing, right? That thing of like in the original Silent Hill 2 of the controls making it so that James feels clunky and not very combat ready is not necessarily a deliberate decision, but it ends up adding to that feeling. James being able to do like time dodges and combo attacks is a deliberate decision, and that can take away from it a bit. But they nailed the atmosphere, the characters, the acting's fantastic. Like, the acting is really good. Soundtrack, it's excellent. Big recommend. Silent Hill 2 is probably a top 5. I don't know where my top 5s are right now, but Silent Hill 2 is probably a top 5. If I had to say. And it was a great time to play with friends. It's one of those things, right? Horror games are a really fun one to play with friends, because if there are spooks, you're all together. If there's times when you're like, ooh, if I'm alone, this would be alright, tummy twizzler. You're like, well, at least I've got my pals here, and I can look at them, and they're also going to be twizzling their tummies. Which I don't think is a term, but we'll blow past it. I know what comes next. It's Silent Hill F. Again, I forgot to move Adam on this one. That's where his default position was, but the problem is I had to keep pulling him to the front. So, F is a funny one. A lot of F words for F. I like F a lot. I like it a lot. I'm going to get what I don't like out of the way immediately. I don't like how combat capable the main character is. I actually wish she felt a bit more like James. I wish her like movement and combat was closer to James, because she is sort of really able. Your dodges are crazy in that game. And that doesn't stop me from getting my shit kicked in, let's be clear. But I would have maybe slowed down the enemies and had the dodge be worse. I would have made it a little bit weaker. But that's kind of it, because like I do think that takes away a little bit, but it's not enough for that experience to be marred. Atmosphere is incredible. The acting, again, incredible. Story's really cool. The reason why I mentioned frictional is because I remember this talk a bit around Silent Hill F and sort of this general idea in video games of sort of friction and whether that's a good or a bad thing. Silent Hill F got a patch down the line which made it so that you could skip previously played segments on a repeat playthrough, which makes sense because Silent Hill F is a game that arguably you are supposed to repeat playthrough. Silent Hill 2, you could do one playthrough, you can get your ending, and that can be it. There are other endings, and there are endings unique to a New Game Plus experience, but that's not part of the full experience. Silent Hill F actively encourages you to do an additional playthrough because it gives you new content to expand your understanding of what's going on. Now, the game as originally intended is designed for you to play through it that first time and then play through it again the second time and be experiencing all the same things again. Adding a button to skip it, from a player perspective, sounds good. Right, I don't have to do that same thing again, so it's just going to cut down the repetitiveness on it. But is the repetitiveness not part of the point? That was the original intention. That was what they originally went for. I would argue that it makes sense for them to keep it like that. But then you've got stuff like the FF16 side quest thing where they added the option to teleport back. And I think that's a net positive, but because there's not really anything to add to the running back, I think there is something to add to the friction in a horror game of having to redo the same stressful thing to sort of feel that experience again. But friction's a hard thing to get right, I feel. Because I don't think you do it deliberately. Like I said, with Silent Hill 2's original combat, there's friction there, but I don't think that's deliberate, necessarily. I think that is sort of a thing that happens as just part of the restriction at the time. And that's positive. That has a positive impact. But can you genuinely say from like the perspective of a creator, oh, I made this feel worse? Maybe you can. I don't know. I'm not the guy. I'm not Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball. But I do wonder. Friction's neat. I think friction can be cool. Nier Automata has some friction with the way it does its thing. Now, with the way it does its repeat playthroughs. Original Nier has a lot of friction. Fucking Drakengard is full of friction. I'm going full Yoko Taro on this. But I do wonder. Silent Hill F could also be a top 5, but I think if I was going to pick F or 2, 2 would be up there. F's really good. I think I just have an affinity for Silent Hill 2 because the story that F tells is very cultural. It is personal to the main character, but there's a lot of there's a cultural element to it. 2 is so character driven that there's nothing else really like it for me. For like horror game, there's nothing else to me like Silent Hill 2. It's not a lot like Silent Hill F, but there's nothing like Silent Hill 2 for me. Maybe there isn't, I'm just not playing enough. That's probably the case. But I do love... I don't love him, but James Sunderland is such an interesting guy. And the main character of Silent Hill F is just sort of... she's just a victim, really. James is more than like... James is a fucked up fella. I can't remember her name. Silent Hill F main character. But she just goes through some shit and you just feel bad for her. James, he goes through some shit, you feel bad for him, and then you think, well, maybe James, maybe you're in a hell of your own creation. Hinako! Yeah, she just gets it from all sides, and you just kind of want to have an ending where she just, gets to, I don't know, go to FamiMart and get some Kokuichi bao buns or some shit. Anyway, some curry, man. That's what you want. James Sunderland deserves to go to the FamiMart in the summer, and they don't have the Nikuman thing on. Guys, a bad time 5 times in a row. It's rough. It's rough. James Sunderland deserves it, in a funny way. I think that's part of why I like 2 more. I think 2 is funny in a kind of fucked up way. I think Silent Hill 2 is a funny game because like the main character's just a messed up fella. Silent F is a sad game, but the girl can do like Bloodborne dodges, so she's doing alright. She'll be fine. Oh, Skyrim with Adam. Something old, something new, something Welsh, take a pew. So, Adam and I played some Skyrim together this year as well. Talked about it with the Bomb Rush. I'm trying to think of other games that I'd like to see get this sort of treatment of like a multiplayer mod. Like a game that doesn't already have a multiplayer component. Maybe Lord of the Rings: The Third Age, but I think that might have a multiplayer component thinking about it. But doesn't already have a multiplayer component and adding it in some regard. I imagine that's an absolute ball ache to do. Because Skyrim together had a lot of janky bits, like our quests weren't lining up properly, there were some oddities in terms of the way we'd interact with the world. But it's very impressive that they got as far as they did. And playing it with Adam was a grand time. I'm hoping to play more. It's just hard. Because you want it to be seamless, you want it to be perfect, but it's never going to be perfect. It's a passion project by like a bunch of people who like Skyrim. Like they've not been taken under the wing of Todd Howard and he's like, you know what, I like this idea, go for it. They're just a group of people who are like, well, they probably have a day job. They're probably off on their day job, they come home and then they fiddle about this. And that's impressive. There is no such... I genuinely believe, genuinely in my heart of hearts, that there is no such thing as lazy development. I think you cannot release a video game without a shit ton of effort. You can't release a video game if you're lazy about it, right? And that's the same for the mod scene. Like, it's fucking hard work to make this shit. It's so complicated. There's so many nooks and crannies and bits and pieces you got to fiddle about with that I just don't believe it. This was why my like most hated criticism for like a game is that, oh, the devs were lazy. Fuck off. You can't be lazy and release a video game. That's not real. You can have like restrictions, there could be time crunches, there can be moments where you're not able to fully realize a decision or that you don't fully have the idea crystallized. But you can release a game in those situations, just things might not come out as cromulent as you'd like them to be. But you can't release a game with lazy decisions because you can't make those decisions because they won't get the game out the fucking door. That's my big passion. It's the thing that pisses me off the most when someone's like, oh, the devs were lazy here. Were they? Or were they like working 14-hour shifts? Getting paid fuck all because it's a passion job and the guys up top know they don't need to. Yeah, shortcuts are taken, but usually out of necessity. Because there's other shit that needs to be focused on. Yeah. But yeah, that's my big passion. The Divinity Original Sin 2 OST were pretty chill for that. You saw the Dolphin and you thought of the Divinity Original Sin 2 OST. I see what you are, Prof. I know who you are. This is the Outer Wilds. That's in there. That's in this playlist I've got here. And that's on my list actually for next year because I got gifted that too. But yeah, Skyrim Together, excellent game. Played with a friend. It's one of those things. I'll do Hades 2. Okay, remind me when this one's done and then I'll do Hades 2. I've been listening to the Hades 2 soundtrack and there's only a few tracks that I've added to my like rotation. But I need to listen to it more. I'll be running with Divinity Original Sin 2. Ah, the Outer Wilds has such a good soundtrack. Yeah, Skyrim Together is a great time. Skyrim's one of those games, I've said it before, when I got it on Switch, when I got my Switch, and then Skyrim was one of the first games I got for it, it's like something clicked that didn't click before with Skyrim, and I was having an incredible time. Skyrim Together's been a lot like that. But I think it's just because of the discovery of it. Just walking around, discovering stuff, wandering about, not really like with goals in mind or objectives, just being like, right, let's have a look at a cave. What's in this cave? Oh, it's 12 guys who are gonna gangbang us, hell yeah. They've been gangbanged since 2025. It's been a year. And you have a good time. Prof's back. Prof's back. God, Sniper Elite 3, 4, 5. Do you know what that picture is? That picture's not even of any of the Sniper Elites the Prof and I played. But if you showed me that picture without, you know, me already having looked it up, I'd be like, oh yeah, Prof and I played that. It's crazy. Like, they are the same video game. And they're good. They're solid. They're well made. but they are like the same video game, and I had fun. I really did. I think they're neat little co-op games, but they are. I should have put a fidget spinner on here too. They are fidget spinny kind of games. There's not a huge amount going on that you got to focus on, and that's fine. I think there's a lot of goofs and gaffs to be had. They wouldn't go in a top list for me though. I don't think any Sniper Elite would sit in a top 20 list for me. I would be surprised if it sat in a list for someone else, if I'm honest. But it would give me insight into them. Insight that I think would be interesting. Like I want to see a top 20 list of somebody who has a Sniper Elite game in their top 20, because I bet the other games in there are really interesting. Not necessarily the games themselves are interesting, but the decisions made in that list are going to be really unique or different to what I would necessarily think of. And I'd be like, wow. Call of Duty Black Ops 2, is it? Fuck yeah. Okay. Let's go Hades 2 OST. Yeah, they were neat times. I'd say I'm trying to think what I would really like. If you had to like get me to say my feelings on them, I don't know what they would be. I don't know. It's like the experience of them doesn't really go anywhere. It's like Into Tartarus. It doesn't really go anywhere. There's no place for my thoughts on Sniper Elite to exist. There's nothing happening. Because I don't necessarily know if the time in the game itself added anything to my time on this earth. Which sounds really harsh, but I don't think that has to be a bad thing. Because it could have added something that was shit. But instead, I just got to spend some time with my gamer pal. And we had fun doing it. I live with that. I can live with that. I think that's okay. I think that's fine. It's Borderlands 2, but it's World War 2. Oh, there we are. So, I'll start with It Takes Two, because that was an Xbox game that we're not going back to, because it was on Games Pass, and we got pretty far into it. It Takes Two's got a lot of cool stuff. Again, all of these kinds of games are very neat. It Takes Two was a fun time. Got some cool ideas, but didn't finish it. Now, Split Fiction, however. Split Fiction was funny. My dead dad, who isn't dead, I can't remember if her dad was dead. And then, like, her Siamese cat that was full of chalk. I don't remember what the tragic backstories were for both of them. I don't know. But it was very fun. There's not a lot of couch split-screen games now. It's hard though, right? Because like these games are designed for the split-screen thing in mind. So I presume there's a lot of clever bits and pieces they do to get them to work as well as they do. Because when you look at other games and developers talk about resources spent on split-screen, they always talk about how it's not really worth it and how intensive it is. Like I think I remember watching, it was like a mod for a game where they modded split-screen in, and it tanked the shit out of everything. Because it turns out split screen's really hard. You're basically running the game twice. That's not easy. Honestly, sounds like it's a miracle we ever did it. I presume it's harder now with all the complex geometry and lighting and dead dads that you've got to put in the backstory, but was he dead? Fully can't remember. No. Split Fiction. Very neat. I think of the series of games that those developers have done, A Way Out holds a very special place for me because that experience is like nostalgic at this point. Like playing that with Uwe, the finale of it, it's a very nostalgic like thought for me. I remember that moment and I'm like, yeah, that was cool as hell. I don't think Split Fiction will have that the same way, but I did have a grand old time with it, playing it with Bro. It was very fun. It Takes Two was cool as well. I think the thing with It Takes Two is that because I know I'm not going to finish it, it's slipping away from me. I think I'm deliberately letting it slip away from me because if I ever play it again, there's a chance I'll be playing it from the beginning, like anew. And so I need that to slip away from me so that I can get there and have a decent time with it then. Which isn't ideal. It's not what I would choose. But sometimes you gotta just, you know, understand that that's the process. if that's what's going to happen. We listen to the Aria de Mezzo Castor. Oh yeah, here we go. Here we go. I'm ready for this. Hey, and then Zenless Zone Zero and Honkai Star. So this is an odd one for me. Star Rail, I stopped playing at some point this year for a while. I basically just didn't play it. I wasn't into it. I was like, you know what? Not into this as much anymore. I'm going to bounce off. Zenless Zone Zero, I've still been playing. Really enjoying it. It's adding occult mode soon. It's very neat. And I like both of them. I like both of them now. Like, I've played Star Rail since I'm back into playing Star Rail. They added a new roguelike-y kind of mode. I think the thing with Star Rail is, like, when they add a new roguelike mode, I'm like, oh, shit, yeah, this game's sick as hell. I'm into it again. Because I like the systems. I like the combat. Same with ZZZ. I need ZZZ to add the sort of mode that Star Rail added. And then I'll be flying with it. But they're weird because they're gacha games at the end of the day, right? There's always going to be that cloud hanging over them of it being a gacha game. And for some people, like, that term itself, like, gacha game, is just enough for them to bounce off entirely. And it's weird to me because it's not an indicator of, like, the actual video game itself or the experience that you have with it. But there's such a reputation for them that I get why. Gotcha game! I mean, a lot of the shit that you play nowadays are gacha games. Or, like, have a lot of the fundamental systems of them. And all of this, if we want to be, like, pedantic, all of this really comes back to Valve. Because loot boxes came in TF2 first, right? So, end of the day, we're all fucked. The economy's in shambles. You can't buy RAM. It's all bad. It's indicated that everything in the game we built to make you spend money. See, that's the thing of, like, somebody who's not played them. I see where that perspective comes from, but... And there are some that I've, like, Persona 5 X, or not Persona 5 X, the great example of that, actually, the Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, which I really want it to be good, but it is literally every single action that you take in that game will prompt the game to try and make you spend money. It's mad. It's crazy. And I think I'm softer because the other gacha games I play are the Hoyo ones, and they don't do that. Like, outside of, even then in anniversary events, they'll be like, there's a new thing to spend, and then you'll, like, click off it, and then it will never bother you about it again. Like, there's no Hoyo game I can see where there's that push to spend, but I think that's because they make enough money anyway that they don't need to push to spend. Whereas a lot of other ones, the smaller ones, are trying to be a money-like machine. So, Ever Crisis was fucking horrible about it, because you would do a mission, and then it would go, hey, do you want to buy, like, a character pack for Yuffie? And then I'd be like, no. And they'd be like, oh, okay. And then I'd do another mission, be like, oh, Barrett could use a new weapon pack! And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? I'm trying to play. And I just bounced off it. I uninstalled it. But I don't have that problem with, like, ZZZ. I don't have that problem with Star Rail. Because at the end of the day, it's not pushed on me. There is potentially the whole thing of, like, if you have a character you really want, and you don't have the pulls for them, that can be like a frustrating experience, and I get that. But usually that would only happen if you're trying to pull for every single thing that's coming across, and that's never really, like, made sense to me. In like a lot of other games where you've got multiple characters, it doesn't always make sense to invest all of your resources into everyone. But I don't know. It's a weird area. I'm happier having or continuing to play ZZZ and Star Rail. I have good times with them. What was that? Go back to Promise of the Forgotten. I have a good time with them. Well, they're like pulling things. That's fair. I know that there's somewhere, like, weirdly, Ever Crisis, all of the characters you get in the game. So it'd be weapons, but Ever Crisis is fucking horrible about it. Persona 5 X. It's different. You don't have it, and you just care about that many characters. Well, that's a positive then. That would be like a net gain. Or like a positive aspect. If you cared about that many characters, that would fuck it off, because then you'd be stuck. But I don't, like, there's a set of characters that are coming up in ZZZ who I don't care about, and I'm like, cool, that means I'm not going to pull for them. And then if there's a new set of characters I'm interested in, I'll pull for them. There's a lot of plot threads. I don't know. I have a good time with them, I guess. Is where I am on it, is I have a good time with them. Maybe that's not a good thing. Maybe it's not a bad thing. Maybe it's just a thing. Maybe we just have things in life. I gotta get off of this slide, man. I finished my left and now I'm in my head, man. I'm like, there's just things. There's just things. But their roguelike modes are really good. I really like the new Star Rail one, Currency Wars. It's been good fun. And ZZ's a nice time. It makes an RPG with this 200% primers. I assume none of them gets enough carry development for a while. It's hard, so this is where I'm like stuck a bit because I don't know about other gacha games as well. But both ZZZ and Star Rail, I think, do a fairly solid job of fleshing out their characters for their like respective storylines, and then they'll have their own like personal side bits that you'll do with them as well. We're actually, to be honest, more than anything, the Hoyo games to me, the ZZ and like Star Rail, at least because I don't play Genshin, ZZ and Star Rail are effectively Persona games in the way it handles their characters. Like they have their main plot relevance and then they have their like individual relevance, and then you're like, well, neither of you are kanji, so unless you're kanji from Persona 4, I'm not really interested. And that's where it is. But yeah, thinking more about it, like the way that ZZ handles its characters is very Persona coded, in that you have their part of the main plot where they're in the main plot and they get their development there, and then you've got your like character storyline with them, and that's your like social link with them, because ZZZ just straight up does social links for its characters. You hang out with them and you do little bits, and then you have little individual storylines for them. But there's also not 200 characters, so that's like Suikoden. Suikoden is a turn-based RPG that has like 200 characters. And I don't really know what's going on with that, because I keep wanting to play it, but I'm like, what is the point? But I don't think the point is that the characters themselves are fully fleshed characters. It's more that they are pieces on a chessboard at that point. A bit like Fire Emblem. Or at least older Fire Emblems have like a lot of piece on chessboard characters. You got the main focus characters, the focal points, and then you have your pieces on chessboards. Probably never be for you, but not as bad as you thought it was. Maybe it is as bad as you think it is. Don't let me try and convince you otherwise. It could be worse. So just remember that. Things can be worse than you think. But that's another thing, right? Like, perspectives on it are really hard. If you have like this idea of what something is, depending on where you get that idea from, it can be very hard to like see where else it goes, because I think I know a lot of people who understand gacha games as like a conceptual thing from third-hand experiences, and then they're like, well, that is what that is. But that's any opinion, right? You like, that's probably my opinion about, I don't know. Why I keep fucking turning back and looking at Lord of the Rings, the Third Ages. Or is it just the Third Age? It is just the Third Age. I keep saying the name of the game wrong, fuck's sake. I played Masterpiece with intricate narratives. Peak has an intricate narrative, and the narrative is that I'm getting my shit kicked in Roots. Anyway, if I remember this right, which I might, we may be on the last game on the list. And the last game on the list was actually my game of the year for this year. It's Hades 2. This isn't real. It's Hades 2. No, it is Death Stranding 2. And I'd like to talk about the game, but weirdly, I'll talk a little bit about the game. Like, the game itself is great. It's phenomenal. Quality start to finish. Improves on everything from Death Stranding 1. Like, all of the bits in Death Stranding 1 that I'd like to have seen improved on are improved in Death Stranding 2. It's great. You play it, but you still hit me with the bruh. Hell yeah, bro. Well, Prof, what else was going to be my game of the year? Of the games I played, what else would have been in there for me? Death Stranding 2 is fantastic. It's brilliant from start to finish. Galarians. Shit, he's got me there. But yeah, for me, there's this thing that I'm seeing more and more. This is where we talk about Kojima. You know that guy? You know that guy that everybody fucking loves? Because apparently you can only either like call him the god of all mankind or the worst piece of shit you've ever heard. But the thing is, like, the people who I see dunk on Kojima more than anything are people who have never engaged with a single work of his, or never engaged with anything he's ever said or done. And that's mad to me. Like, I'm trying to think of like other creators where that kind of thing happens. But I see more and more people will like dunk on him and then have had absolute. They'll be like, "Oh, I've never played a Kojima game. I've never seen anything he's ever done. I've never listened to a word he's ever said." But the guy's up his own ass, and I'm like, "How have you arrived at this opinion?" And then I find out it's because they're mad he's at the Game Awards. And I think maybe we're just cooked. Like, maybe you just can't have opinions anymore. Maybe I should go on... What's the Reform UK TV show? You just can't have opinions anymore. They're trying to... The woke left hive mind is trying to stop me from liking Kojima. Oh, God, GeoWizard. Let's not talk about GeoWizard. But it's mad. And it makes me a little bit sad because was it Wired? I forget who it is that they do the videos where it's like a creator, like an actor or I said chef. I think chefs have done it. Like Gordon Ramsay's done it. It'll be like they'll go on social media, people will ask them questions and they'll like answer them, and it's sort of about the respective industries. And Kojima did one recently, and you listen to the man actually talk, and he fucking does understand video games. His whole thing was like interactivity is key. The shit should be good for the player to play, and video games need to be video games. At no point was he like, oh, well, my narratives are more important than anything else. He's like, yeah, video games need to be fucking video games, man. I played Mario when I was younger, and I thought this is cool. GQ do the 10 items on, why do that? Gotcha. I just watched it, and I thought, man. And I've read The Creative Gene. Great book. Very much has a through line of, like, this guy likes what he likes, but is a game developer. I don't know if he actually enjoys that. Like, there's this weird part of me that wonders if Kojima likes the fact that he is a game designer. I think he does. I think it's silly to think otherwise. But it's like there's something about him that compels him to make games. Like, not films, not anything else. He is a game designer through and through. And I think that shows in a lot of the stuff they make, especially Death Stranding 2. Like, Death Stranding 2 is far and away, like, probably the most fully realized thing I think Kojima's made. I like MGS2 still my favorite game of all time. There's other stuff I like from him more, but Death Stranding 2 feels like it is Kojima taking everything that he'd want to do in a game and doing it fully. And I like that. It's a good time. It's my game of the year. Because, fuck you. It can be. And you can pick your game of the year, and I can have my game of the year, and then we can go to the Game Awards, and Claire Obscure Expedition 33 will win anything anyway. And then none of us will be happy. We'll all just be mad at that. We'll just be in Reddit forums going, I'm mad. Top 5. I'll have to go back to the start of this to get to the top. Hang on, let me go. Oh, goddamn, I closed it. Hang on, let me reopen it. In no order. Top 5 in no order. Now, let's do, right, so this is stuff, oh god, hang on. This shit that I played this year. Nothing that I didn't talk about would probably be in there. So let's go down the list. Astrobot would be 1. Not number 1. Death Stranding 2 would be in there. Final Fantasy 4... I'm cheating. Final Fantasy Pixel Remasters in there. No, 6. Final Fantasy 6 would be in there. Lego Voyagers could be in there. Delta could be in there as a complete. So Peak could be in there. So now we're at 6, so I need to take something out. Silent Hill 2 Remake could be in there. So 2 would go over F. Okay. So 2 would go over F. I would knock out... I've not finished Voyagers, so Voyagers I'd probably knock out. So where are we? Astrobot, Death Stranding 2, Final Fantasy 6, Delta, Silent Hill 2 Remake. Honestly, if I'd gotten Hades 2 like a month ago, that would have probably been in there, but I think there we are. So I think in order, Death Stranding 2 is my top game for this year. It's my game of the year. The Silent Hill 2 Remake, I think, is second. Astrobot is third. Final Fantasy 6 is fourth. Delta is fifth. That's my list, I think. Death Stranding 2, Silent Hill 2 Remake, Astrobot, Final Fantasy 6, Delta in number 5. I think that's where I am. I liked all of those games. It's a good year for... I mean, look, you show me a bad year for games, I'll show you some good fucking games, because there's good games every year. There was one last slide, though, at the end. I had to go back there to remember what it is we'd done. So, this is my, like, general goal. I have, like, a personal goal in there, because I need to lose weight. I think I'm still carrying a lot of my university weight from final year. Basically, or my Japan weight. Went to Japan, ate a load of good food, came back to uni, stressed to shit in final year, did not eat well, and I got weight to lose. So that's my, like, personal goal there. But basically, I've got 3 sets of difficulties for myself. I think I can finish Project Wingman this year, and I think I can finish Final Fantasy 16 for this year, and I want to start and finish FF7 this year, okay? That's what I really want to do. Those are things that I want to do. You could lose 10 kilograms in a year easy, I think, is my memory of it. That's my, like, goal, but I'd like to lose some this year. I'm not going to get too hung up on it, because I think that's the trap. You could very easily do it. But the thing is, Prof, I stagnate a lot when I lose weight. Like, I've lost some weight recently, and then I've stagnated a bit, so I'm not going to try and, like, set a goal that's going to be really, like, oh, I could easily do this, and then I don't do it. I think losing 10 kilograms, I'd feel really good if I lost that at the end of the year. I'd feel really good if I'd got to the end of the year and I'd lost 10 kilos. That'd be great, and I'd feel positive. Now, if you start losing weight just to dunk with me, I wouldn't feel good, and that would just make me a sad boy, Prof. You'd make me a sad fella. Or I'd forget that I said this, and I'd be like, what are we doing? I want to start and finish FF7, and minimum I want to do 2 streams a week, which is where we are right now, because I do Proto Wednesdays, which didn't happen today, and The Boys Sunday. So those 2 should still continue to happen. My medium goals are to then try and get Signalis and Crow Country done, and Like a Dragon Ishin. Weirdly, I think Ishin might actually go in Capital G Gamer, because that's the one where I'm not sure if I will, like, choose to finish it. And I want to start and finish FF8. If I can get through FF7 at a relatively good pace, I think it would be cool to then start FF8 right away. And 4 streams a week, so like a couple solo streams in there too. And then my big Capital G Gamer one is whatever I forgot, because I'm sure I fucking forgot something. Like Metaphor, I forgot. I'm looking at that now. Start and finish the Outer Wilds. Oh, also, I did have... it's gone for some reason. In Medium, I had finished the Final Fantasy XIV main story. Like the actual main plot of Final Fantasy XIV. Because I'd like to then start and finish Heavensward, if I could. Now, I don't know how long that would actually be, so that could be crazy. And I'd like to start and finish the Outer Wilds. That's in Capital G Gamer, but that probably won't be as difficult as I think it is. I think I've got to have some... Like, I've had general, like, loose goals. I need to have some sort of something to aim for. I do 6 streams a week because streams are cool. Yeah, I feel like going in the right direction. That's true. That's true, brother. That's true, brother. Hell yeah. I mean, just the idea of losing weight, just tell you at the end, losing 10 it would be funny as... You think it'd just be funny to be mean to me? But yeah, 6 streams a week I'd like to do. I would like to get out a YouTube video a month, like some sort of edited content of some kind. That, however, I think of all of them, would be the hardest thing for me. Because of time of it, ideas for it, and editing is a fucking ball ache. But yeah, that's generally where I am. Ignoring these aren't New Year's resolutions. I'm not calling these New Year's resolutions. These are things that I'd like to do. I'm not hard and fast on them. I'm not going to knock myself if I've not done them. I'm not going to be like, oh man, I didn't do my resolutions. I'm going to be like, right, what did I manage to do? Oh, cool, I beat Project Wingman. Neat. Neato. Yeah, FF14 main story was meant to be in Medium. I don't know what happened to it. Someone stole it from me. Might be all the atoms that were in my stream. And play some games. There's like a more general goal that I had last year, and I don't think I did a good job of it, of like just playing more independent stuff. That's why I remember picking up Signalis and Crow Country. But I would like to add more of that to it as well. But yeah. Any codec moments from you guys? Remember that from Metal Gear Solid 2? A reference to a camera advert in the US that was really hyper-specific and didn't really make any sense to anyone else. Mastering Roots. Hey, look, I've made it through Roots a couple of times. My next goal is us getting through Roots. Yeah, any highlights, gamers? Any games this year that you'd really want to stand up and go, wow, Video games. Anything in there? There's some good stuff this year. I've definitely forgotten a bunch of stuff, especially from my Xbox. I don't remember a lot of stuff on there. Persona 5 Straight Faced. I haven't talked about much. If you say Dispatch, Genshin as usual from you. This man's gonna say Dispatch again. I know he's gonna do it. He's chomping at the bit to do it. The funny thing is, I think the more that you bring it up, the more it stays in your memory. If it had not been, if we not talked about it, I think come February you'd have forgotten about it and you'd be like, well, this Resident Evil Requiem thing's real neat. But you are a Dispatch boy. You're a D boy. You're a D boy. Yeah, there's been some good games this year. Some good games. There'll be some good games next year. You have a stack for games that release in 2025? True. There's a lot of good games just about. Like I said, The Lord of the Rings, The Third Age for the Nintendo GameCube or PlayStation 2 systems. Give that a go. If you're a Final Fantasy X gamer and you want more Final Fantasy X, don't play Final Fantasy X. Play Lord of the Rings, The Third Age. And get your Final Fantasy X shit in there. Fucking. Oh, Lies of P! That was a video game that came out. Remember that? The Lies of Pidler? Right, gamers. As always, enjoy day of an afternoon, morning, whatever it is, where you are. We'll be back when we're back. We'll do some business. We'll do the business. Thank you all for coming out. Had a grand time. It was a good time. Thank you all for popping in. Hope you all had fun. And bye, gamers. E. It's in the E. Happy New Year.